Hello, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Hello to all of my Facebook saints, my YouTube saints, and my Sunday school dropouts. I hope you're having a wonderful and fabulous day. This is Brandolyn, and if this is your first time joining us, welcome. We absolutely love having new people. And please tell us that you're new and where you're tuning in from so that we can show you some love. Now, as always, let me get it all set up here. Hold on. As always, I'll give it just a minute for everybody to come on in, but we got plenty to talk about because I can't wait to tell y'all about New Orleans. And let me just do this housekeeping thing really quick. Miss Martina, please don't get frustrated. I'm not sure why, but sometimes when I set things up, like preset it so I can just go live immediately at 9, when I preset it, it shows up on YouTube. I don't know why, because I don't go live until 9. So I apologize for that. But that's what it was. Hey, Miss Christine, just hang in there. I promise what I will do going forward is probably not preset it up so you don't think I'm there. But I wasn't here because it wasn't 9. But let's see here. Hey, my Q, how are you? Hi, Sarah and Miss Anya. Y'all, I've got things to tell you. Ooh, Miss Pam, we're claiming nothing but a good healing. We're just praying that the good Lord guides the hands of the doctor and his angels are there to grace you as you enter the room for the surgery and as you leave. Hey, Barbara. Y'all. At first I was going to do a bless your heart, but I'll be honest with you. After the week I've had, I think I'm just going to take that, okay? Take that back. And I am the bless your heart for all of the things that happened to me this past week in the good New Orleans, okay? So don't worry, we're going to talk all about it. Let's see, what's going on, Miss Kelly? It's been a forever and a day. I know, I'm so glad to see you. We're going to do things a little bit different tonight. I'm actually going to start off with a question for you. I want to know, what is the one city that you went to that was not quite what you expected? And that can go in many different ways. Hi, Miss Barbara. How are you? Yes, it's been a long time, but you're here. Hey, come on back in the room. We are happy to see you. So tell me a city that maybe you were excited to go to that city. And then when you got there, it was not at all what you expected, or you weren't looking forward to going somewhere. And then when you got there, you realized it was great. I'm just curious about that. And I'll tell you my thoughts on New Orleans in a moment. But just give me your ideas. What's a city that shocked you? A good shock or a bad shock? Also, while I'm waiting for you guys to reply to that, I need to tell you, my daughter is in the shower and she's also cutting an album. Okay. I don't know what she's been through since I've been gone, but my baby is singing. Okay. I have heard, what is that? Now, this is all in the same back to back, okay? I've heard come a camellia. I heard that, and then I heard Biggie Smalls, It Was All a Dream, and then I heard that Check Yes or No by George Strait. So I all of that, and she's been singing every single one of them. So it's been, I guess my baby was happy her mama was home. I don't know. She's been on a roll. Okay, Angie. Hello, my Angie. Angie, remind me, you're from Louisiana, right? Are you from Louisiana or Texas? Am I close? But Angie, what surprised you about Miami? Did you like it or you didn't like it? Tell me that. Oh, Paris, France, and San Antonio, Texas. Did you like it or you didn't like it? Philadelphia was so dirty. I've heard that. I want to go to Philadelphia for the Lord, Angie, I put you in Louisiana and Texas, and you right here with me. I'm so sorry. You're just a good old Georgia peach. I'm so sorry. I've heard Philadelphia was dirty, but I also heard it had a lot of history, a lot of, forefathers. Like if you were a history buff, you would enjoy Philadelphia. So tell me, did you enjoy the history at all? Let's see here. What you talking about, Miss Sarah? Sarah says, how does she know Biggie? I know my child is a music connoisseur. Yeah. So, oh, wait a minute. What part of Sanibel? I'll have to look that up. So you loved that part of Florida. Was it, I'm assuming now, and please excuse my ignorance, I've never heard of that area. So tell me, was it like really touristy or was it just extremely beachy and laid back? I'm also using you all for my next trip, okay? Just in case you didn't know. I'm ready to, as I finish this paper, I just want to take off and explore. And so I'm kind of looking at places that can inspire me as well. Angie says Miami was a little just culture shock. Oh, Angie, I understand. New Orleans was a culture shock for me, so I get it. I get it. Completely understand where you're coming from. Wait a minute, I saw a comment. Christine says San Diego, it smelled like a certain plant and moldy feet. Weed and toe jam, is that what you're telling me? It was a combination of weed and toe jam. Huh, okay. Interesting. Oh, Martha's Vineyard. My mom has always talked about Martha's Vineyard, and I really do want to take her back. I've never been, but she's always talked about how nice it was. Okay, Miss Christine says she lives in Philadelphia, and yes, lots of history. So it is kind of dirty, but there are parts with lots of history. Okay, Philadelphia may be on our list. You love My Daughter Loves Sydney is a music connoisseur, okay? She loves all kinds of music. In what reality would you ever think a Biggie Smalls, the Notorious B.I.G., and a George Strait song would ever go together? They don't, but leave it to my child. Oh, let's see here. Florida, Pensacola, and Tampa. Okay. I don't think I've been to either one of those either. Let's see. I love NOLA. Philly is good. Love Reading Terminal in Philly. The donuts at the market. OMG. Okay. Let's see here. My YouTube saint, Miss Martina, says in the 80s in New York City, saw people sleeping on the sidewalk and others just walking by. Made me cry. I hate to tell you this, Miss Martina, but unfortunately, we now live in a day and age where that is a very common experience. I saw that when we were in Portland, and it's a difference. Like here in Chattanooga, or I live right outside of Chattanooga, we have a homeless population, but they've kind of pushed them to like certain areas, and so they live in the woods or in wooded areas, or they're in tents in those areas, like tent cities. But in Portland and New Orleans, they're just on the street. Like you have to walk over them to just continue walking. They are literally, they've taken over sidewalks. So it is very, very sad. It is very, very sad. Oh, it's its own little island beach full of shells. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? I got to see the comment here first before I can read it. Frankenmuth, Michigan. Much better than I thought. Is that the little island? There's a little island that's really quaint. So tell me if that's the island. Well, I'm going to go back to the comments. Do not worry. I'm definitely going to get in there. But, let me tell you a little bit about New Orleans. Okay, let's set this thing up. First, in my mind, I had a set image of what I thought New Orleans was. Okay. I thought it was just this big dance party. And there was just stuff going on everywhere and lots of culture, which is true. Okay. As a matter of fact, I've made myself a little list here of things. Here we go. The things that I've learned about New Orleans. The first one, which is truth. It's got a lot of history and a lot of rich culture, which I appreciated. You can do all these historic tours. They have a World War II museum. It's got that and the history, the jazz. I mean, to just walk down the street and have people playing the horns and making that jazz New Orleans strut sound, and then seeing young boys beating on just buckets, but they sound like, I promise you, a 3,000 marching band. They were amazing. And it was only like 4 or 5 of them. So that part of it and the old architecture, oh, that was gorgeous. And so you can take tours of this. But the thing is, they also have other kind of tours. That I'm warning y'all about. First of all, they have ghost tours. Now, let me tell you something. I got enough issues on my own. What I don't need is any spirit to go with me. I don't understand why people want to go and visit cemeteries on purpose. The dead. Why are you messing with the dead? Let them sleep. I don't want to go over there and wake them up. I have no need to pay to see someone's tombstone. Okay. I don't understand why you paying to see dead folks. You want to pay? I'm going to put some tombstones in my yard and charge $25, and you can walk around and look at the tombstones. I don't understand. Furthermore, New Orleans does have a very black magic, voodoo, hoodoo, who do not fool with that is me. Okay. So you can do all your voodoo and the hoodoo over there, but this dude is not going. Okay. I came down here by myself. I'm not bringing the spirit back. So that's the main thing. Girl, don't pay. The history cemeteries are awesome. I agree. I think the history of the cemeteries is awesome, but yeah, I'll look it up in a book. I'll pass. I don't fool with the dead in that way. Let them rest. The other thing that I thought was so funny is how people paid money for an alligator tour. Let me tell you something. If you want to pay money to go see alligators in New Orleans, let me say it this way. If the only reason you should pay money for an alligator tour in New Orleans is to go see some frogs. I thought about that thing. An Uber driver told us, that was something that tourists like to do, is go on the alligator tour. And he said he didn't understand why, because there were no alligators in New Orleans. And I thought about that thing for a minute. He said, this is a city. I said, you know what? He's got a point. Why? Anything that's in the water is fabricated. If you want to see a true alligator, if you want to go on a true alligator tour, you got to go out in the bayou to the swampland. Yeah, I wasn't going there. Listen here. Princess Tiana might have had to find her prince to turn herself back out of being a frog, but something tells me that wouldn't have worked out quite the same for me. I'd still been a toad. So no, thank you. I'll keep my behind on dry land. So we did not fool with the alligator tour. Bro, you love a good graveyard? No. I don't know if it is a historic tour, that is fine, but I just don't understand paying. I just feel like that's, I can't do it. I can't do it. Exploitive a little bit. Not of us going to see, but I don't know about them. I just don't know. Let me tell you something. I can only imagine. And most of these tours that I saw were at night. Me in a graveyard at night? Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. What we are not going to do. Oh, no. I am not doing that. Let's see here. Q, I know you and Olin Mills. You would just been there snapping every picture you could of all the alligators. You've been on your own. I will pass. Now, let's talk about the beignets. I was so impressed with the food. Well, some of it. Let me back up and talk about the food real quick. When it comes to the beignets, they were delicious. I went to Cafe du Monde and the line looked like it was so long, but I promise you, we only stood there for 10 minutes because the way that they do it, you sit down, they only have one thing on the menu. You can get something to drink and you can get beignets. When you sit down, they ask you how many you want. They take your drink order. And when they bring it back to you, you pay. So once you're done, you get up and you leave. So it's a constant rotation. They're not actually there to serve you. They just bring you your food and you eat and you go. But they were absolutely delicious. For anyone who's never had a beignet, the only thing I can compare it to, if you are Southern, would be like it's a little fluffier than a funnel cake, but it's the same consistency. If you've ever had a funnel cake, then you're good. You're good. Y'all still on that alligator? Let me tell you something. But the alligator is very tasty. See, let me tell you something. I'm not eating alligator. And furthermore, I'm not going on an alligator tour because I don't want the alligator saying I'm tasty. Okay? I'll pass. I will pass. No. So I love the beignets, but let me tell you what I didn't love. I learned very quickly. Not all gumbo is created equal. I had some gumbo from several places. And the first place I had gumbo from, the roux tasted like Georgia red clay. It was too bitter. It was just not good. I couldn't eat it. That second pot of gumbo, Templeton lost. I lost my mind, okay? I tried to lick the bowl. So try the gumbo. Definitely, if you go, you want to try the gumbo. You also want to, like, every fish that I had, delicious, but it was fresh. So I enjoyed all of that. The jambalaya, the etouffee. I tried to eat it all. It was delicious. Now, what was not delicious, and y'all already know what I'm about to say. Who in here eats oysters? Just go ahead. Identify yourself. If you eat oysters, step to the front. Patricia says, while I'm waiting on y'all to admit that you eat oysters, the fee is because the money is so limited to care for the cemeteries. Again, I believe you're referring to like the historic cemeteries, and I think that is wonderful. I don't even have to tour it and would have made a donation because I do understand, people, the city, there is a lot of dirt and people, it can be very dirty. So I think that part of it makes perfect sense to me, especially from a historical place. But I'm not paying to go in there at night. I'm sorry. Could you imagine going in a cemetery at night and they have all that beautiful Spanish moss that hangs and then the right breeze catches a piece of that Spanish moss and just kind of clips my neck. Whoop, I'm out. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You might as well just go ahead and dig a grave for me because I'm dead. Gone. So, nothing better make a noise. Nothing better pop out. Nothing better move. Could you imagine being in a cemetery at night and something just, I'm gone. I'm dead. You don't want this. Okay, so let me see. Who's eating this? Sarah says she eats the fried ones. Avril. I understand, Avril. Team no on the oysters. No, ma'am. I'm not eating everything. Just nasty. I don't like stomach aches. No. Everybody's saying no to these oysters. Oysters are disgusting. I am telling you, I believe that oysters are proof that Satan can get a sinus infection. Oh, and I need to post the video of me actually trying to eat. I ate the first one, but that second one, I couldn't even get it down. I need to post that video. Tiffany, no. You like oysters? No, Tiffany. So far, it's just Sarah, Tiffany, and Elaine. Oh, no. And Nidra, you too? The Lord is not pleased. The Lord is not pleased with this oyster eating. Everything is. I need to know. Who picked it up? Who picked up the rock, popped it open, and said, "Look at this big gray booger. Yes, this looks delicious. I'm gonna eat it." Who put that together? Then who took the time to figure out, oh, it's better with a cracker? Like that's I applaud you all. I don't know how you do it. Sadie, they look like snot. And then they tell you, Sadie, to just swallow it whole. Here's my problem. If I'm swallowing it whole, how am I tasting it? But you say it tastes delicious. Mm-mm. Mm. No. And oh, y'all, I'm gonna have to stop talking about it because I feel it. I feel it right here. It's awful. Kay, you love oysters? Ma'am. Mm-mm. Oh, Glenda said, give me a Bible and leave me in my room. I understand. I understand. Oysters look like a giant booger. Nope, I can't do it. It's not as scary as you think. What, an oyster or the cemeteries? What's not as scary as you think? Because I'm telling you, oysters, I tried it. I'm all about giving things a chance. I will try food. I will. Fried. Let me tell you something. I believe that frying food, I'm from the South, when you fry things, it automatically ups their value. Automatic. Just puts them in another stratosphere. Chicken, it's good. But when you fry it, it's delicious. Okay? Pork chops, barbecued, grilled, baked, they're good. But when you fry them and you gnaw on that bone just a little bit, amazing. Fried Oreos, I will give it to you. Didn't think I'd like it. Loved it. But nobody has any business eating a fried Satan's booger. I don't understand. I don't. Everything ain't meant to be fried. Oh, I'm sorry. It just ain't. It's just not right. It is not right. Hey, let's see here. Hey, my Roro. If I was at the cemetery and something touched my neck, a miracle would have taken place because I would have gone. Hold on. I would have gotten right up out of my wheelchair and ran like buns off. And let me tell you something, Roro. I would have been running right with you, okay? When I tell you I would have run so hard that my heels would have been hitting my behind. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm so sorry. Oh gosh. Miss Suzanne at Felix. Okay, let me tell you, I went to the Felix around the corner from the Bourbon Street or the French Quarters. That's where I went and had the oysters from a gentleman named Victor. He was so nice. But yeah, the Lord's not pleased at that. Well, listen, let me tell you really quickly something else that I learned. Oh, we might as well just go ahead and talk about it. First of all, I love the dialect there. There's certain things that people say in New Orleans that if you're there long enough, you pick up on it. I love the way they speak. Hey, baby. I promise you, I'll be saying that for the next couple of days. Hey, baby. And I know being in the South, people also talk about how we speak and our country accents. But I love that, hey, baby. Now, let me tell you what really did it for me. Y'all, the main thing that I learned about New Orleans, I am not old enough nor grown enough to go on Bourbon Street in the French Quarters. I saw things on the French Quarters, on the Bourbon Street, that traumatized me. I have no words. I promise you, I should have been, today was Sunday, I should have been the first one at the altar and the last one to leave. Because literally, as I'm walking down Bourbon Street, this was me. Oh my, oh my goodness. Whoo, wait a minute. Ooh. It was so much. It was so much. Now, did I participate in some of the foolishness? Absolutely. I will not lie to you. I rode a bull, and there's a video of me riding a bull. And what doesn't help, and I'll post it, but I rode the bull, and I had on some leopard pants. Let me tell you something. After I look at the footage, and I was sober, I didn't have a drink when I rode this bull, okay? But what I've learned about myself is, I can't, that I'm not built to ride bulls, okay? I might have been able to do that in my younger years, but after I fell off the bull, it was time for me to go home. Everything hurt. Everything. My thoughts hurt. Do you understand? Because I fell off. Number two, I'm throwing those pants away. They were so cute. They're like, they're silky palazzo pants. But when you put those pants on and you see all of your behind spread out on top of a mechanical bull, I look like Tarzan. I look like Into the Wild. Like from the bottom down, there was a whole jungle going on top of the bull. So I want to publicly apologize to everyone who witnessed that, because it was a whole situation from the waist down. I look like the jungle. Just it was a lot. It was a lot. I've scarred some people from what they saw with me on that bull. Leopard spots should not spread that far. On top of me falling off of it. It was fine because it was moving slow. But then he said, I'm about to speed it up. And instead of me preparing, I was talking trash. I said, go ahead. I'm doing just fine. That boy sped that mechanical bull up. That bull went up, and all of me went down in 3 different directions. My breastplates went this way. My butt went that way. It was just a whole lot of going on. And everybody around me, all they saw was leopard print. Oh, you say, everyone was so drunk they never noticed your spots. Oh, it was enough spots for everybody. It was. You know what I'm afraid of is, when you're really drunk, it messes with your vision. You can see blurry. I'm just afraid somebody may be making a doctor's appointment right now because they saw spots and don't know why. I blurred their vision. Never again am I getting on a horse, a mechanical bull, in those leopard pants. That was too much. That's the only reason why I haven't posted it. A, I'm afraid that Facebook and YouTube will take it down for sensitive viewing. And B, I don't want to scar y'all like that. I just don't. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah. It was some people dizzy coming out of there. And they weren't dizzy because of the alcohol. They were dizzy because they saw all of me on a bull. On top of that, Bourbon Street is like a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? All this, it's all happening. Everything is happening around you. You have to stay focused. And the later it gets, the crazier it gets. And in my mind, I'm like, this isn't Mardi Gras. I can only imagine how crazy it is during Mardi Gras. So I need to carry my behind to the altar and just lay out for about a week to recover. I came home from Bourbon Street, and I said, I have got to take about 2 or 3 showers to wash off all of this sin and shame. It was so much. Okay, I have talked y'all's ear off. Let me go back through these comments really quickly and see. What is going on? Miss Miranda says you didn't go to Bourbon Street because we had little ones. Oh, please don't take your children on Bourbon Street. Mm-mm. Don't you do it. But we did do the alligator tour. Would love to go without the kids though. Oh, Miranda. Okay, Miranda. I'm gonna say this to you, and I'm gonna say this as nicely as I know how. Okay. I'm assuming you went with your spouse, your partner, and I know you mentioned that you all had kids. I don't know how many children you have, but if you experience Bourbon Street to its fullest, if you truly enjoy Bourbon Street, if two of y'all went there, I promise you, more than two are coming back, if you know what I mean. Okay, I'm leaving you be. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Don't have too much fun on Bourbon Street. My mama, I would have made Forrest Gump look like the tortoise from The Tortoise and the Hare running out of the cemetery. Absolutely. The good Lord said, let the dead bury the dead for a reason. Absolutely. But of course, I say this, but I will definitely go back. I'm seriously thinking about just doing that, going to these different places and then talking about it and videoing it. I'm going to put together a little reel of some of the things that we did and putting that out there and kind of giving you guys my experience of the place. But I do want to go back and enjoy the city. So let's talk very quickly about some prayers that I know. I know in the beginning we talked about there's someone who's having surgery tomorrow. And Miss Amy says, prayers appreciated for my oldest son. He's traveling to Spain for 2 weeks. Prayers for safety and staying healthy. My mama's heart is in knots. Absolutely. Excuse me. Absolutely. We are definitely praying for him and for you. We pray that he has safe travels, that he enjoys the city to the fullest, and that this just opens his eyes up to the many opportunities there are out there, and that he comes home whole, full, and safe. So yes, we are definitely. Oh, did I name my car? No. Me and that car are still fighting. I'm thinking Chateau Sorrento, but I don't know. It just hasn't hit yet. But we definitely will figure out a name. And smell of Bourbon Street. Oh yeah. It smelled like polluted river water. Every liquor you could ever think of. Urine, weed, and feet. Tiffany, a city in the Bible that was destroyed. Thank you. I didn't know somebody didn't know what Sodom and. Okay, let me break it down. It's just sin. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that scares me just a little bit. Thank you for the explanation, Tiffany. Sodom and Gomorrah was a city in the Bible that was destroyed for its sexual perversions. It's so funny to me, or odd, I should say. We live in a day and time where people are so divided. We are divided over religion. We are divided over politics, over everything, over gay rights, transsexual rights, all these things we're divided over, right? Everybody has an opinion about how things should be. I find it so strange that there's certain things that connect us. Sadly, COVID connected us. But I'll tell you something else that connects us. Sinning connects us in a way that I find so interesting, because when I was walking the streets of Bourbon, I was surrounded by people from all walks of life, from all sexual orientations and backgrounds, from all political and religious backgrounds. All these people were in the streets. Nobody was arguing. Nobody was fighting. Everybody had a smile on their face. And what was everybody doing? Sinning and sinning and sinning. And that's it's just, isn't that odd? Isn't that sad that it took everybody to be drunk and be just full of sin to be together in one piece? Who said, did you ride the trolley? Yes, I absolutely loved the trolley. That actually was one of the highlights of the trip. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Miss Patricia. Raw sewage. Let's see here. T, we are praying for you as you go through surgery on Tuesday. Glenda, absolutely. We are praying for you. Let me end the show this way. Hold on. Robin says, please continue to pray for my husband. He's recovering from cancer surgery. They did a CT and found lesions on his spine. He doesn't want any further testing, praying for complete healing. Absolutely. Roro says, prayers for me for the results of the 2 fibroids that were removed from my tongue this past Wednesday. I get the results in 2 weeks. Let's see here. Okay, let me say this. My prayer for everyone this evening. It sounds like a lot of us are having issues in our bodies and with surgery this week. My prayer, just like I said at the beginning, is that the Lord will anoint the doctor's hands, that he will anoint the entire room, every nurse, every person that's in that room, for each and every person, that he will anoint them, and that he will anoint each one of you from the top of your head to the sole of your feet, and that we are claiming nothing but a complete healing and victory over your situation, over your body. And whatever the outcome is, we ask that the good Lord get the victory from it. So even if he decides to keep you in it, he gives you the strength to strengthen you and to make your testimony even more powerful. I also ask that the Lord keep those in mind who have unspoken prayers, that he just heal them, that he answer those prayers, that he opens the door, that everything falls in place. And until it does, he gives each and every one of us the strength to tie a knot in the rope and hold on. I've had fun with you all tonight, and you've given me a lot of great suggestions on my next adventure. Prepare yourselves, because in a moment, in about 3 weeks, I go to Vegas. I know. So get ready. If anybody has anything they need to tell me about Vegas, please inbox me and tell me as I prepare to go there. And yes, Sarah, the good Lord's grace is sufficient. Get your shine on this week. I hate to end this way, but one of my colleagues at the school that I work at, he had been at the university for almost 20 years. And just out of the blue, I don't know the circumstances, but he made a post about less than a month ago saying he was looking for a new job. And that's how I found out he no longer worked there. He had a heart and a passion for students. And they found him deceased this past week. It's been very hard for a lot of my colleagues. And it's just a reminder of how important it is to get your shine on, because you never know when it'll be the last chance that you have with a person. And you want those memories, you want that moment to be impactful. So just always remember, you never know what someone else is going through. Just always get your shine on, okay? Stop holding in negative energy, and always know that your light is important. We need your light in this world, and you shine your light, because your light can guide somebody else out of the darkness. Have a great week. And zip line. See, I was trying to be with Jesus before we ended this, Sarah. Never again. Never, never, never. You guys get your shine on and have a great night.